You are now listening to the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. Here is your host, Blaine Spencer.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. You know who I am. I am your host, Blaine Spencer. I've got a real treat for you guys. Today, I'm sitting down with Isaias Ventura, senior small forward for the Charter High School for Law and Social Justice in the Bronx. Isaias, how are we doing? And thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Well, thank you, man, for having me. I'm blessed to be here, grateful to God to be on your show, and I'm doing good, man. I can't complain.
Glad to hear it, bro. Let's jump right in. I know we were talking about this off air a little bit. You're actually coming off of an injury that took place this summer. You rolled your foot. How's that mentality been trying to get you back into the swing of things with the season rolling around the corner in November, and you guys just started up conditioning and whatnot?
Well, it was definitely a challenge. I would say that it was easier, to deal with it because that wasn't the first time I've been injured, but that happened around July going into August, and it's been it's been a few months since that happened, and I've been continuing my routine. You grind and you do what you love, so you go through whatever for it. I wasn't gonna quit, I wasn't gonna stop, so just working on my game. That injury, just made me tougher mentally. Made me learn how to adapt to that situation, and I keep that in with me. So when something else hard comes my way, I know how to adapt to it and things of that matter. But everything's been going great since and yeah, that's basically it, man. Everything's been going great. I adapt to situations like that, and that's just my mentality. My mentality going into difficulties, just do what I have to do and go through it.
And for you, does that create a little bit of an extra chip on your shoulder to get yourself more back into the swing of things, more prepared, maybe even over prepare for the season that's coming up, knowing that you're coming off of an injury? Hey, I want to be stronger. I want to be quicker. This is an opportunity for me to do that coming off with that injury, taking you out for that short little time.
Well, honestly, if I'm being honest with you, I feel like no matter what happens, I'm always having that mentality of, get stronger, get faster. You know what you were saying. No matter what happens to me, injury or not, challenge or not, um, regardless of the situation, I just make sure I adapt to it, and I take over and do what I have to do to be better on the court and off the court, regardless.
Without a doubt. And then has there been anything that you've been really working on in regards to your craft? What has been the main focus point for you with conditioning now just starting, and you guys had some scrimmages in September? What have you been truly trying to work on that you want to go into the senior season and leave your mark with?
Well, I feel like as a player and all players in general, I feel like we need to um, focus on everything. Is I think it's better to have options. The more options you have, the better. Like doesn't mean like for example, a center doesn't mean just because you're a big guy doesn't mean always go just for layups and post moves, post fadeaways, etc., etc. Expand your game. That's what I'm doing, expanding my game, working on everything, offense, defense, shot, layups, everything. And, but I would say to answer your question, one of the most important things that I've been working on for sure is, to not be nervous and attack, have that mentality of going and just going for it, taking a good risk, taking a good chance, having confidence in myself. Those things, I have seen improvement, and I know, God willing, I'll be ready for this season, no doubt.
So for you then, is it more like mental reps? Hey, let's take it one to the rack, or is it just trying to do, hey, be more aggressive, be more assertive? Is it a little bit of both? What is that for you?
Yeah, definitely both. Definitely both, because there will be, in game situations, you don't know what the defense is going to give it to you until, you're facing it. So I'm definitely focusing on both aspects. So that way, like when I'm in a different situation, if they're coming at me, I know how to adapt mentally and physically and in my game. And, it's just a combination of everything.
Without a doubt. And is there right now? I know you said you've been working on a little bit of everything. How is the team look in general at the moment with you guys just getting into conditioning going into this season? What are the expectations? How do you guys feel?
Well, we feel good. Our team looks really solid this year. We have a lot of big guys. We have a lot of um, all of our players have, their own unique skill. We're looking very good, preparing. Um, everything is going good. Thank God I'm blessed to have the opportunity to work with teammates and, and rub off our good qualities on each other and stuff like that. And yeah, we're looking really good, and I can't wait till the season gets here.
Just a quick question. Who's the toughest one that you have to guard in practice? Who's the toughest teammate for you?
Um, well, I don't think there's a tough teammate. I would say that they're all good in their own ways. I would say that when I'm facing my teammates, like when I'm facing the players, um, I just try to, my like I told you, my mentality is attack. No matter how good they are or whatever, if we're playing against each other, I'm coming at you and I'm going for the win. That's the mentality. But all of them, for sure, all of them are very good in their own ways.
For sure. Let's talk about your career so far. What's that mindset been like for you? And like, what are some of your performances that really have just like, man, I was on today.
Well, I feel like no matter what, that's how I feel every day. When I'm working out and um, when I'm in the gym or whether it's on the court or wherever. Wherever I'm working out, I feel like that's my mentality because whether I do good or not, or sometimes I'm a little shaky, I know that um, just by showing up and doing what's needed for me and required for me to be better, just doing it and doing it to my best ability until until I can't no more. I know that right there that I'm already a winner, just for doing so, And I tell people all the time, like, that's the mentality you have to have. Like, you can't get mad when things don't go your way sometimes. I tend to always give advice. Even yesterday I was training, and as I was getting shots up and I was headed out to leave after I was done with my workout, I was telling this guy who was getting rebounds for me, like, hey, um do this in the third, to get yourself together, like, write your goals down, get strong physically, mentally, just giving him advice, things that have worked for me and definitely things that'll work for everybody else, because I've seen it work for others and it has worked for me. And so, yeah, basically, um, I always have a positive mentality. I don't let little things stop me. I faced adversity before and I've beat it. So why wouldn't I beat it again?
Absolutely. What are some of those things that have really worked for you in helping you develop your game, etc.?
Well, definitely putting God first, because without him I'm nothing. Grinding and working out, writing my goals down. Um, I tell people all the time. It may sound like a little corny or whatever, but for sure, writing your goals down, doing all those things, um, working hard, like not stopping, making sure that what you do, like, you love it, because if you really love it, then you'll do it no matter what. And I tell people that all the time. That's the reason why I've gotten the success I've gotten through all this time, and I know it's going to continue like that forever, because I speak things into existence and I don't plan on stopping at all.
That's a great point about goals, because especially when I was a former athlete myself, goals was always the most critical component of, like, even if it was just something small, like just a small daily goal that you wanted to get in. Then you would have those short-term goals, what you wanted to do for the week, potentially the month. Like for me personally, when I was a track athlete, playing baseball, etc., there was those small little things. I wanted my hitting percentage to go up just a little bit. I wanted my free throw percentage to go up just a little bit from week to week, just to see that commitment and seeing that grind unfolding, and you're seeing that growth. What are some of the goals that you have right now for yourself?
Um, I feel like I'm focused on what's in front of me and the near future. I'm not, obviously it's good. It's always, you should always have goals for sure about your, lifetime and for the far future. But right now I'm thinking up to the near future, which is the season. I'm thinking, my goals is to get better and everything, keep improving, don't settle for less. Always go for more, be happy but not satisfied, which is a difference, because if you're happy, you're grateful with what you have, which is another thing. Be grateful. Simply, just go for more because I know my potential and I know what I got, and I know, the sky's the limit for me. And for anybody that does what they have to do, the sky's the limit for them as well.
For sure. And speaking of the skies being the limit, you don't want to focus on those long-term goals right now. You're looking more at the short term. But is there a player that you have really just like idolized in these last couple of years that you're just like, hey, if I can just take a couple skills from his game, a couple skills from this other guy's game, that I've got something special in the works coming out from me. Just are there any players that you really idolize and some players that you're taking your craft from?
For sure. To be honest, I look at everybody's, all the stars, or not even the stars, like just anybody who's in the NBA. I look at their good qualities, right? And I take like piece from each and every one of them, So I look at all types of players. If I were to tell you the player that amused me the most would definitely be Giannis, because not only is he successful, but what he's come from. He comes from dark moments, from the mud. I heard a story about him, and they said, and the year before he was a rookie, he was a street vendor, and now he's an NBA champion. He's got a great family. He's got success in the league, and things like that is more than basketball, man. It's just life, and that's just proof to everybody who's watching. Like, if they can do it, you can do it too. As simple as that, and things like that are what will help you in your everyday life. You know how to adapt when you look at these guys and you copy their good examples. That's something that my parents have always told me, to take the good examples from people, and for sure that's one of the biggest values that I carry with me today is learning from others, learning from experience, learning from those who know what they've been through, and who've been through what you want to go through. And for sure, man, like I've been blessed, thank to God. I've been blessed to have NBA players that I've talked to, coaches, professional, and all those things. And that's things that I don't take for granted at all. Like I've talked to the Lakers assistant coach Phil Handy. He's a mentor of mine for sure. Three-time NBA champion. I could talk all day about his stats, but yeah, he's definitely a mentor. He's definitely somebody that I appreciate very, very much. And also another NBA player that is retired, who's now a motivational speaker. People may know him. His name is Walter Bond. He didn't play much in the league, wasn't a star or nothing, but definitely he's been there and knows what it takes. So just to have those type of people after God in my life is something that I don't take for granted, and I appreciate their help, and the advice they give me. I definitely apply it to my life, and I use it to make me a better person.
What is some of that advice that they've passed along to you that you really just like cherish and hold to you personally?
Well, for sure, like I could tell you right now with Phil Handy, when I met him and I texted him, um, I would talk to him about not only basketball, like I would go further there because, I really want to take advantage of his time and his friendship. And the same thing with Walter Bond, like these guys, I've talked to them and they tell me things that surprise me, that make me, feel good. Things like talking about how to control emotions, how to surround yourself with good and like-minded people, um, put God first, always pray and do those type of stuff, um, which I hold dear to me because this is things that I've done and things that I'll continue to do to make me successful, and it has made me successful so far. So it's beyond. I feel like when you connect yourself with the right people, you grow yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful to be in that circle that they've created around me. They've got my back, and for sure I got theirs. No doubt about it.
Without a doubt. And something that I've cherished with doing this podcast is having on some athletes. And one thing that really took home for me was when I had on Austin Eckler, who's the starting running back of the Los Angeles Chargers. And he said something that was really profound, that it was just like, if you just take everything day by day and you go 110% at it, that will easily climb your ladder. Even doesn't matter if you're improving, if you don't see the improvement right away, but if you go at it that 110%, you're going to see that improvement. Even if it's not right away short term, you're going to see it in the long term. It's all about embracing that grind, because he was an undrafted player. And then he sat behind Melvin Gordon, just telling him, he was just talking about how he wanted to embrace himself and understand that he's fulfilling his dream in the NFL. And he wanted to take that step little by little. And now he's the starter, right? He's having a breakout season. So that was just something that really came to my mind as you were talking about some of the advice Coach Handy gave you. So,
Yeah, for sure.
all right. So I want to talk. I want to do a quick round robin here with you. So just some personal questions, just some fun stuff that I got some from some polls that I got from my fans. All right. So what is your go-to food?
Pasta.
Pasta. All right. Favorite video game?
2K.
2K. Okay. Are you a My Player guy or are you a Dynasty guy?
My player.
All right, for sure. And then favorite sports team?
The Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks. Hands down.
Milwaukee Bucks, hands down, not close. Defending champs.
Yes.
And then I had two more. Favorite hobby outside of basketball?
I listen to music a lot.
Okay, and then just to pick me off of that, what's your favorite artist right now?
Right now I've been listening to Drake, Nas, those type of guys. I like them.
All right, since you said Drake, I'm all in on CLB. What were your thoughts?
It was very good. Creative. I like his creativity on the album. A lot of features. I liked what he did with some of the songs, the lyrics. I pay attention to all of that when I'm listening to music. I like to listen to the artist and what he's saying or she. And yeah, I liked what he did there for sure. I'm a fan of that album.
Yeah, because I just thought when I listened to it, I was just like, every single song is a banger. And I was just like, he could literally could do no wrong in that album. It was nuts.
Yeah, he had a lot of. I would say all of them were hits.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then let's talk about your Bucks. You just said you're a Bucks fan. What are your expectations for them this year? I know Brooklyn, they're having a little bit of their own issues right now with the whole Kyrie Irving situation. Lakers are definitely going to probably bounce back. You guys beat Brooklyn in the conference final, or not the conference finals, the conference semifinals, excuse me, thanks to Kevin Durant having his foot on the line by a millimeter. So for you, what are your expectations for your Bucks? Do you see them running it back this year?
Definitely. I feel like with what you said about the Kevin Durant situation, that I can agree was a mistake. But if you look throughout the whole playoff series, since they clinched a playoff spot, they've been unstoppable. They sweep Miami, right? They took care of Brooklyn, Atlanta. They took care of all of them. And when Giannis was hurt for that short amount of time, the other players, were able to pick up for them. If it's not Giannis, it's Drew Holiday. If it's not Drew Holiday, you got PJ Tucker, you got DiVincenzo, you got Brook Lopez. The list goes on. That's why I like the Bucks, because I feel like all of them are superstars to me. Like they all have their abilities. They're all good at what they do. They all click together. They have good chemistry, and that's why they were NBA champions. And that's why they didn't stop, because I feel like they also have that drive and determination to keep it going. So I'm proud of the Bucks. I'm a Bucks fan for sure, and big Giannis guy as well. So yeah, do I see them running it back? Of course.
Who do you think is going to give them the biggest challenge?
Definitely the Lakers with all the super team that they now have.
Okay.
They got like 6 stars in one team.
It's scary.
Most of them are like former champions, so definitely the Lakers, and the Brooklyn, I could see them getting back into it as well with us, but more likely the Lakers for sure.
All right, all right. And then Isaiah, is there anything you want to say to the fans of the final whistle, or and as well as to the people that have been the healthcare workers on the front line with dealing with COVID?
Well, don't stop. Keep it going. Always put God first. Pray in the morning, the day, the night, whatever. You know, do what you have to do. Don't stop at all. Write your goals down. Get in touch with what you're doing. Don't ever stop for nobody. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do something. I've had that plenty of times in the past, and always don't be like, be humble. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can be negative to others, and what people's first reaction is to react back and to be bite back. But that's not me. If somebody, whether you mistreat me or not, I'm gonna help you, because I know at the end of the day, you're gonna improve, and God is gonna help me improve on top of what I'm doing, because I'm doing my job as being a good person, and just helping others. And that's what it's all about. Greatness is um about helping others, and that's what Kobe said. May he rest in peace. Greatness is also about helping others and making sure others are straight, and they doing what you improve on their lives basically, and you help impact their lives. So with short things like giving somebody advice, telling them to stay positive and things like that, just you could get their day going good, and then they could keep that momentum. So just basically be positive, be humble, stay strong, make sure you love what you do. Don't ever stop working hard, um, and do the things that are hard to do when you least want to do it, because those are the days that you build a strong mentality, as well as the other days. But those days are days that, if you can go past those days, then you can definitely get through the easy times. So that would be my advice to the people watching. And yeah, just stay positive and work hard.
Perfect way to end the interview, my man. I couldn't have said it better myself. Isaiah, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. Come on the final whistle and chat it up with me. Good luck to you for you and your personal goals, as well as the team. Hopefully everything works out for you guys with the conditioning all the way up, and hope the season goes well, my man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Blessings to everybody, and blessings to you too, brother.
Likewise, blessings to you, my man. That was another edition of the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. Be ready, as we got more stuff coming out in the coming weeks. Stay tuned.